Bayelsa Command. Good to have you join us again, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Happy New Month.
Happy New Month to you. And I have Enari Bebe, Amabebe, the Assistant Chief Director. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Ruth.
One day I'm going to call you out, but today I'll
No
forgive you.
problem. Forgive me. Thank you
I
very
will
much.
call
Ruth.
you out on a very good day.
Please,
but
please,
today,
please
let me
forgive me.
decode it.
Decode it, please. I beg you. Decode it, please.
So what is
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. So what is government designated park? I want the PR to do this today.
Yeah, government designated parks are those parks we all know. Like she said earlier, the terminal at Igbogene is a government designated park. Then the Ekeki Park is another one. And those are the two parks recognized by government for everyone to go through while traveling out or within the state.
So let's get this straight. The government of Bayelsa State has two parks, one at Igbogene and one at Ekeki.
Ekeki, yeah.
What are the differences? So why do I need to go to Igbogene and why do I need to go to Ekeki?
For example, you want to travel to Amasuma and you stay within the axis of Swale, Onopa, within this area. There is an intra park, which is the Ekeki Park, that conveys people to intrastate. That is basically an intrastate park. So in as much as you're traveling within the state, where you need to go to is that Ekeki Park. That is it. Then for the other one, you're traveling to Port Harcourt, you're going to Onitsha, you're going to Warri, you're going to Lagos, you're going to Abuja, you go to the terminal, which is at Igbogene.
So that's what it means. So in essence, the Ekeki is an
Intra.
Yeah,
park within the 8 local governments of Bayelsa State.
Yes.
Are we correct?
Very correct.
Then Igbogene is if you want to travel out of Bayelsa, not out of the country, out of Bayelsa. You want to go to Port Harcourt, Lagos, Abuja, Kaduna, Kano, and their likes. That is when you have to go to Igbogene. So, VIO is in charge of implementation of this particular. When I say command of the government, everybody go to the Bayelsa State Terminal. If you have to go outside the state, how has it been for the VIO to be in charge of this process, or as the implementation body?
Well, it has never been easy. You know, at the time, think about 2 months ago when we were on air here, we mentioned it briefly. But it has never been easy maintaining the regulations. You know, humans, we want things to come easy. And of course, government coming up with policy is not to afflict the people, but then to ensure, first of all, their safety. For instance, now you go to the park, there is this regulation that you must get a manifest for every passenger that you carry on your vehicle if you are going outside the state, for instance, now, because it helps us to get the record. Accidents may occur. Recently we heard along some places were around that Edo area, some travelers were kidnapped by those kidnappers. Now, if that vehicle that left, possibly maybe if the vehicle had left Bayelsa State, maybe loading illegally without a manifest, it will be difficult for people to know who and who boarded that vehicle. Now, but then if you see that if you are loaded from the terminal outside the state, there is a manifest. So the moment the news breaks, the government quickly can get to know those who boarded that particular vehicle through the manifest. Your phone numbers are there. Phone number of your next of kin is also there on that manifest. So it is easier for people to identify who is in danger and then how to swing into action for their safety. So since we are talking about safety, it is very, very important. Now, it has never been easy for us because at the point we came up with this law in trying to ensure that people do not board from this Masuma, this Tumbia axis of the park again, and then along the road. Most people violated. But currently we have a very, very stiff task force that is situated along the toll gate. If you are going out of the state right now, your vehicles are stopped. You tender the manifest. We see it before you pass.
When you say toll gates, which of them? You know,
The boat.
So is that a recent?
Yes, very recent.
Very recent, because
About 2 weeks ago.
Okay, because that was the last time I left the state.
Yes, about 2 weeks ago.
And I did not have that experience. Yeah. However, there was manifest for us to feel.
Yes.
But there was no. Okay.
About 2 weeks ago, we came up with that policy because we discovered that people were loading indiscriminately, which is not correct.
So, are they going to hand over a copy of the manifest?
They wouldn't. They don't know. They don't need to hand over. They show us. So we know that these persons loaded from. If you are going outside the state, interstate, we know that this person loaded from the terminal, and then we see the manifest as a proof that you. And then there is also a gate pass that we issue. If you do not have the gate pass, you are violated. Because some persons could go and get a manifest manipulated. You get it. So it is compulsory. You must have the gate pass, and then the manifest to show that actually you loaded from the designated park.
So the gate pass, is it being issued by the VIO or from the park?
It is issued from the park. At the directive of the Ministry of Transport.
That's good.
So, if you do not have it, we know that you are going out of the state illegally.
So, in that case?
In that case, we impound the vehicle. Instantly, we impound the vehicle. Passengers go back to the park, go and book in the right way, and then go for your journey.
So, are you saying now that for all the vehicles that leave Bayelsa State, they all have manifesto and they can be accounted for?
The manifest.
I beg your pardon. And they can be accounted for at every
Yes, currently now it is. Because the moment you are leaving that toll gate, except you went through another illegal route.
But I thought we have the, is it Okaki?
Yeah, just last week I took a stroll to the point at not Jokake, at the Imbiama Yenagwa axis of the exit point, and I told the boys, I said, look, there are areas that we need to put our focus on. Number one, we have a route at Okake area, and then I told them also, they forgot. I told them, look, the governor, the miracle governor, just completed the Polako Bridge. A lot of vehicles could also pass through that Polako axis to Opokuma, and then they leave the state without any manifest. So I think currently they are trying to also expand the scope to ensure that those areas are covered as well.
People's 93 Point Fantastic 1 FM, Voice of the Niger Delta. Today we are looking at gains of boarding commercial vehicles in government designated parks. And my guests have been doing justice to the topic. If you want to weigh in on the conversation, you have a question or questions for my guest, why not? Please do well to call us on 0805 455 4123. That is 0805 455 4123. The other number 0906 000 2420. We have a first caller on the line. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. What's your name?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Thank you. My name is Ruth. What's your name?
My name is
Thank you. Let's hear from you.
Park them will be very far from this side. They forget one another park close to Tokyo. When you are going out from the cycle, like another one for the park. At least, let you get the park and like that. Now the one from that Africa Akudama.
Ibogene.
The
You mean
Ibogene Park. Ibogene Park.
Yes, Igogene. You want from Igogene, it's too far from Latin. People that want to travel out from Bayelsa.
Okay, but don't you?
From Swali and it's down in Egua area. You know, it's too far from it. You can get the one down to maybe
All right.
around about.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Okay. Just listen. Listen, my guest will respond. But before my guest responds, let's take another call so we have to just respond to the both of them. Good morning. I beg your pardon. Good afternoon. Welcome to Safety on Wheels. Mr. Frosbury.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead, please.
Okay, yes, I listened to the program and I really want to know what I really caution here to help travelers and also buyers alike normally go out and for us, I will say that the problem is more than the gates of travel or government because before that the constitution for commuters is not considered as where for us it's a burden. Because like if people are traveling to Port Harcourt, the cost of traveling to Port Harcourt has increased. By journeying only from where we are, maybe like from Mexico down to Booking, it's more than 1,000 naira. Then added to the cost. Then if you come back again, like people from Tobia area, within Tobia area, that are traveling to the other areas, to still pay that back to the back. So the policy is because it will control security, it will also help identify travelers and visitors to their destinations. But then the problem is much. So my advice is, if you are that is coming to implement it, let's not just look at what you can gain by looking at manifesting alone. Advise the government.
Okay,
Why
thank you.
monitor and regulate advise the government to take policies or to take actions that will also benefit travelers? Because now the body is not like you don't just
Thank you.
or look at it, but then that's my advice from me.
Thank you so much, sir.
My brother, a point to note, if you are traveling within Bayelsa, there are vehicles also available in the terminal. Within Bayelsa, there are vehicles also. There's a station that you can also travel within. So if you are living around that Igbogene, Akemfa, Agodama axis, you look at the proximity. But if you look at, Igbogene as the easiest place, you can travel to Igbogene and board a vehicle going to Nembe. There are vehicles loading Nembe, loading Amasoma, even Keremo, Kolga, Sagbama at the terminal as well. But then the one at Ekeki is purely for intra-state travelers. So if you look at your proximity and you discover that where you are based is closer to the one at Igbogene, you go to Igbogene, don't come to Ekeki Park. But if you are close to, like you say you are staying in Azikoro, Azikoro is close to the Ekeki Park. If you want to travel within the state, you go to the Ekeki Park. Well, it is, we appeal because, if you are traveling to Port Harcourt, for instance, like you mentioned, that you pay maybe 1,000 thereabout to the Igbogene terminal before you travel out. Please, it is also for your safety. Now, if you calculate, if you are traveling out from Azikoro to the Ekeki Park, you still spend a little amount of money, plus minus, even if it's not up to 500, close to 500 naira. And then if you are going as far as Igbogene, paying 1,000 for your safety, I think the government is also looking at our safety. Let's consider it from that point. Thank you very much.
So
Right,
then the first question.
Yeah, the first question is like a similar thing. But what's the, if we can imagine, if Mr. Ebi has stayed maybe somewhere like Port Harcourt, Lagos or something, from Burukri to Mile 1 in Port Harcourt, that distance is far more than wherever in the state capital to Igbogene.
It's true.
And if you want to travel, you live in Burukri and you want to travel out of Port Harcourt and you're to board a vehicle at Mile 1 or Rumokoro, definitely you will still pay transport even more than what you're paying here to convey that vehicle at Igbogini. So let us not look at the distance that it is too far. It is not far. It is just that in our minds we are far from even what is happening. So we should know that it is the right things for us to do to board vehicle at these designated parks for the safeness of our lives, our properties. For example, you're traveling. You mistakenly left your bag or your luggage in the bus, and you boarded that vehicle by the roadside. How will you recover that property? How do you get back your property? But if it were to be maybe in the park, you just know that it was in this particular park. By the time you go to the park, there are unions. You know that it was National Union of Road Transport Workers Park. I boarded my vehicle, I entered my vehicle. There and then when you go, you see your property there. Even if it is not there, they will call the office. That was XYZ. On so and so they forgot this. So he or she should pick that particular property in that place. So it's a gain, win-win for us if we board vehicles in our parks.
Okay, so some people over time have suggested that leaving the state might still be stressful, but coming into the state, it would be nice that the drivers will get to at least Tombia like they used to do. So that has been the argument of some people, because when you travel, coming back, it's more tedious than when you're going, and most people will come back with luggages and all that. So how about let the drivers get to Tombia just for people to alight and go back?
If you're traveling to Port Harcourt and you know that the end point of that vehicle is Rumokoro, do you expect that Rumokoro vehicle to take you to Rumokuta because the distance from Rumokuta to Rumokoro is long? No. You must end at that point. Continue your journey from that particular point. By the time you begin to say, okay, for that consideration, let's begin to drop them at that Tombia, the next day they will tell you, let it be down in Egoa that you should be dropping people.
Okay, let's take this last call for today. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. What's your name?
Good afternoon.
Good to have you join us. What's your name?
My name is Godwin.
Godwin, from where?
I'm calling from IJP.
Thank you. Go ahead.
My own take of matter is that I want to, because when you are experienced something, you that experience other to say like those who are loading from a taking part to Amasama. There is another place they are loading again at the halfway. After you bring the police station, they are still loading day and night.
That's till date.
All right. Thank you for that information. Thank you very much for the information. We'll act immediately. Thank you.
Okay, so that's the essence of this program. So as we bring today's edition to a close, I'm going to ask a question, and I'll take that as one of your response for today. We still have cases where drivers, I said that earlier, where drivers still do along. How have you been able to curtail that, knowing that we have designated parks now?
Have been on the field. As I'm talking to you, within the past 2 weeks or so that we've been working, we have impounded over 30 vehicles for that same reason, and which we are still doing more, and we'll still do more. So it's just a warning to them: go straight to the park, make your loading, and even the commuters, go to these parks, board a vehicle there, so it'll be safe for you and even the driver. Thank you.
Oh, so to the Assistant Chief BIO, what do you have to say?
Well, if you are boarding halfway vehicles, it is to your detriment, because nobody can attest your safety at any point. No, it is very, very impossible. So go to the park where your details will be taken, the details of your next of kin will be taken. Peradventure anything happens, nobody prays for evil, but then peradventure anything happens, your safety is guaranteed to a point. So let us do the right thing. Yes, I know that most times we want to think if I go through halfway, it is cheaper, it is easier. But then consider your safety if you are traveling. It is expected that as you leave the house, you return back to your house safely or you get to your destination safely. So please do things that will save your life. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for being part of today's edition. Thank you, my guest,
Thank you,
for
Ruth.
being